There are some facts that everybody just knows. Maybe none of us can remember where we first heard it, but it definitely wasn't from a textbook. These facts become such a part of pop culture because they're just weird enough to be true, but with a little research, turns out they're totally false. Here are the 10 facts you've accepted as true all your life that are actually false. 1. A penny dropped from the top of the Empire State Building will kill you. On Mythbusters, the scientists determined that a penny traveling at terminal velocity cannot penetrate concrete or asphalt. It won't cause serious damage to a person, and even at the speed of sound, will still not damage flesh. At most, it could sting a little. 2. You can see the Great Wall of China from space. NASA confirms that the Great Wall of China, frequently billed as the only man-made object visible from space, can't actually be seen from the final frontier. Although the fact was debunked by Chinese astronaut Yang Liwei, the textbooks were never changed, and will often still claim this is true. 3. Cracking your knuckles will give you arthritis. This was probably told to you by people who can't stand the sound of bones popping. Cracking your knuckles or other body parts will not give you arthritis. Dr. Robert Clapper, an orthopedic surgeon at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center and co-director of their joint replacement program, explained on the hospital's site that there is no harm to cracking your knuckles. The noise of cracking or popping in our joints is actually nitrogen bubbles bursting in our synovial fluid, he wrote. It does not lead to arthritis. 4. It takes 7 years for your body to digest a piece of gum. Actually, gum will pass right through you and leave your body within a matter of hours or days. According to Healthline, the ingredients in gum can't be digested at all, so your body will move it along and pass it as a bowel movement. 5. On average, you swallow 8 spiders a year in your sleep. Thankfully, this one's far from true. Scientific American claimed that spiders don't intentionally crawl into a bed because there's no prey and they don't care about humans. Spiders regard us much like they'd regard a big rock, Bill Scheer, former president of the American Arachnological Society, told the site. If a sleeping person has their mouth open, they're likely snoring, creating vibrations that warn spiders of danger and scare them off. 6. When briefed on those suffering in her kingdom, Marie Antoinette replied, "Let them eat cake." There is no record of Queen Marie Antoinette of France ever having said these words. The myth goes that when told French peasants did not have enough bread to feed themselves, she replied callously, "Let them eat cake." History.com claimed that Lady Antonia Fraser, author of a best-selling biography of the French Queen, believed that the quote would have been highly uncharacteristic of Marie Antoinette, an intelligent woman who donated generously to charitable causes and, despite her own undeniably lavish lifestyle, displayed sensitivity towards the poor population of France. 7. We do use just 10% of our brains. This myth, particularly popular among psychics, is widespread and has been used in advertising campaigns and popular culture for years. And while only a small number of our brain's neurons are actively firing at any one moment, that doesn't mean the rest of our brain is just sitting around. Brain imaging research shows that just about all of our brain is used over the course of a day. Brain function isn't extremely localized. Different parts of the brain handle different functions, and this is spread throughout the brain. There is no 90% of unused gray matter lying around up there. 8. Dogs sweat by salivating. Some people think that dogs sweat through their tongue, that when you see them panting, drooling, that's like a human dripping with sweat. In truth, dogs have sweat glands all over their body. They sweat primarily through their foot pads. When they are panting, they are helping to regulate body temperature, much like we do. 9. Human beings have only 5 senses. Sight, smell, touch, taste, and hearing, these are not our only senses. Although scientists disagree on the exact definition and number of senses, some of the others listed include a sense of balance, acceleration, pain, body position, and relative temperature. There's even senses of time, itching, hunger, and blood carbon dioxide levels, just to name a few, and there are up to 20. 10. Bulls are enraged by the color red. The matadors of Spain and anywhere else, for that matter, wave red capes in an effort to enrage bulls for entertainment purposes. People have since drawn the conclusion that the color must anger the bull. But bulls are color blind. Being dichromats, it isn't the color of the cape that bothers them, but the movement of the fabric. This incites the bull to charge.